This is to certify that Movie Chats has been classified for live streaming.
Well, that was fancy, wasn't it?
It was. Good evening, ladies
All I
and
could see
gentlemen.
is you in the background playing the drums.
Yeah, I think that goes very well with all our neon lights in the back. Because you've got yours, you've obviously not turned yours on because you can't be asked.
No, well. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're part of the crew. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for another week on Movie Chats. I hope you've had a good week. Little Steve, how's your week been?
Yeah, it's been all right. I've been in work last couple of days, so it's been busy. But other than that, not a bad couple of days, to be fair.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Hey, Alex.
Now, we're starting off with like a Rob. You need a 10-minute intro like ours. Yes, mate. That's why your streams last an hour and a half, is because you've got an hour's worth of intro.
Like it was an hour trying to get on the stream.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our major announcement. Let's start with that, shall we? So on Sunday, we were out with Car Boot Chris at Runcorn Car Boot Sale, and we got talking in the car regarding how we can change our show, sort of make it a little bit more easier for people to listen to while they're listening, and just general bits and bobs around the house, because we were talking about what do we do when we're working from home. So we sort of jumped on an idea. Now, I know Chris is looking at it. Sorry, Chris, I didn't watch your show on Monday, so I don't know if you've announced your side of it or not yet. However, we're going to be moving Movie Chats to a more podcast type show. So it won't be visual, not as much. So we have like the pickups of the week videos that we put out locally on YouTube and stuff like that anyway. However, we are going to be getting special guests on every week. So I've started to build up the schedule for that. We've got 5 or 6 people already starting from next week. So not only are you going to be able to see our lovely faces live on stream, you're also going to have the opportunity to catch us on YouTube Music, and I can upload our podcast onto Spotify as well. So we'll be Movie Chat Spotify as well as next week. So yeah, big major announcements. We are moving forward. Hopefully we can start giving you some. You got your invite this morning. You got your invite this morning in the chat. Rob, where's my invite? You got it this morning. So yes, so we've got about 5 or 6 people lined up for the next couple of weeks. So it'll be movie related in some cases. Some of our guests. We've also got some resellers that'll be coming on as well, and we have got some just friends of the channels that are big movie fans and collectors and dabble anyway. So there'll be a lot of crossover, a lot of content for everybody, and just general chat as well. So yeah, we're hoping to move on with the channel and start getting some traction with the subs and stuff. So thank you to the guys that have been with us since the beginning. Your support has been superb,
invaluable,
and like I say, Steve and I couldn't do this without you anyway. So yeah, we're looking at moving to that. Watching instead of listening is the future. Yes, that's it. So all our visual stuff like pickups of the week and stuff like that will be regular content coming out on the channel, and then obviously this is a chance for us to move forward and do some other stuff. So yeah,
brilliant.
As you can tell by Little Steve's face, this is the first time he's hearing this as well.
You know, we have regular meetings about how we're going to improve the channel and what we're going to do, and it is so we're so integral. I'm so integral to the channel that I find out by a message this morning to a group, not me personally, to a group,
Yeah.
and then I had to ask what the frig it was about. I should have known that Chris had a bit of Chris had a more of an idea than I did, considering they're car boot friends nowadays. So
Well, that's it. You see, I've got to have somebody that I can talk to.
yeah, exactly. So Chris is giving you all his best tips, was he?
Well, look, we were talking.
Are we starting
and
Whatnot
Chris
next week?
gave me the idea because he was saying he put our chat on last week while he was listening. Yes, that's it. That's it. We're going there. What Chris gave me the idea because we were talking, and he said he was watching our show back last week while he was listening on the Friday morning, and it was quite good. It was a quite good chat, quite good interaction because we had a few guests on, and we weren't really showing stuff, so we didn't have to start looking back. Yeah, we'll be the fluffer. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Now's the time for the main attraction of the evening. that was Steve. So yeah, he gave us the idea, and I thought that was quite a good idea, you know. And
it's good. Yeah,
it just allows us to branch out over other platforms as well. If people don't listen, they don't listen. At the end of the day, yeah,
you don't
at the end of the day, if people don't listen, they don't listen, and people don't watch us now, but we're still here every week.
Yeah, we're still here, trucking away.
We haven't got the message yet. You know, and you can tell the people that just dialed in to hear what the major announcement was. I should have left that until last because we've gone from 16 down to 9. Now
you didn't get that bit on Chris's brief, did you? Save it to the end.
No, leave it until the end. Leave it to the end. Yes. No, I get all excited and blow me load right at the start. There you go.
Oh, don't. I don't want to know.
Right. So yeah, there'll be a little bit of rebranding again. You know what I'm like, and as you saw from the intro there, it's stuff like that. And
that was pretty cool, though. To be fair, you did well with that.
And we'll get there. You know, it'll be great. So who have we got in this evening? Right. So we've got Rob. Good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us. Kevin, all the way across the pond. Always a pleasure, mate. Thank you.
Thank you, Kev.
AJ, good evening, sir. Now, AJ is one of the few people that have bothered to read the group post, unlike you and Rob, by the looks of it, and has agreed to come on the show. Chris is another one. Car Boot Chris has offered to give us some time from his busy schedule to come on. So thank you very, very much. At least turn up on time. Yes, I totally agree. He was here with 20 seconds to go.
Still 20 seconds.
Rob, yeah, sort out your intro. Thank you very much. Good evening, Ali. Always a pleasure to see you, my dear.
Thank you, Ali.
Good evening, Dave. Thank you very much for coming in. If you haven't already, say hello, then please leave a comment. Let us know that you are watching and let us know that you were there. So going forward, we will have special guests on. We will be highlighting some of the important comments or the relevant comments as it's relevant to the conversations that we're having and stuff like that. So like some of the shows that are driven by the comments, and we like to refer to them, and please don't take this that we're going to ignore you, but it's nice just to flow with our guests and interact with your commenters will go in there as well. So that's how I'm doing it. So little Steve, what have you been up to this week?
I'd say not much really. I've had I was off.
That was
Monday.
Conversation cut short, wasn't it?
Well, no, I had I was off Monday, Tuesday. I was off the weekend, and I was off Monday, Tuesday. So with little man in school, I was running around trying to get things sorted in the house and have a bit of a look around the charity shops, that sort of thing. And then obviously I've been in work the last couple of days, so it's been a bit of a busy one. But I did manage to sit down on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, and watch Saw X.
Ooh,
First
okay.
one I've seen in a while. Sort of really enjoyed that. Have you seen it yet?
No, I've not seen it yet. We've got the monster-in-law and the family coming around on Saturday, so I might disappear for a few hours and watch that, I think.
Well, yeah, it was enjoyable. I mean, I've been watching a few reviews and stuff as well afterwards because I like to see what other people think. And a lot of them were saying, you know, it's up there as sort of maybe the second or third best Saw film, really. Which, like I say, it was enjoyable. It was different. But it's Saw's one of those movies where you're looking for the sort of intricate traps, and you know, he's one of the first ones I've watched where you sort of rooting for him, really. You know, because you get it all the time with these people where it's like there's some they've done something bad and all that sort of stuff. You know, they're not a nice person. But with this, it's nothing given away because it's in the trailers. But this one is like he gets it's sort of a prequel to some of them, but it's supposed to be directly after number one. I think it's like a sequel to number one. So these con artists try and rip him off. So he goes after them, and that's the whole story of this thing. It's really good, enjoyable. Anyway, hey Lainey, hey Queenie, nice to see you. Hey Gareth.
Here he is. Here's Lee. No show without punch.
Yeah, there they are. What are you up to? I'm watching those. I'll watch them too.
That's almost as bad as me and you because we always.
It is honestly, yeah. Literally, it is, isn't it? I had to have them on the telly last night while I was watching Chris on Whatnot. So I was like, right, I'm going to have to put them on TV. So I put their stream on.
Did you finish watching Whatnot? I left at 9 o'clock.
Well, that's the way it goes for you, isn't it? But he usually streams for 2 hours after that.
Yes.
So you know.
Yes, Lainey. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you turn up 13 minutes late into a stream. It's not really that major, Lainey, to be fair. What we're doing is that we are branching out into podcasting. So we're going to have a lot more special guests. And we're going to be out on YouTube Music, and Spotify as of next week. So yeah, Movie Chats podcast. So there's going to be a little bit of rebranding and stuff like that. Unfortunately, you've missed the intro and stuff like that, where you got a bit of a glimpse of the neons and stuff like that. So
it's all right, lady. I'll let you know when I know.
Yes, little Steve's finding this out the same time as everybody else. So
I had to come on early because I was really keen to see what my major announcement was as well.
You can blame my friend. She's just left. Or she could have stayed and watched the show.
That's true.
You know,
she did it. To be fair, I think I spoke to Lainey. Was it last Friday? Maybe. No, it might have been Saturday. And she was asking when we wanted the quiz. So I said to him, "I'll speak to you and we'll find out."
Yeah.
Maybe chat's all
Do you know what? Do you know, with my boobs, they'll probably do quite well. I don't know. Oh, little Steve, don't have any sympathy for him. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you probably see that I'm drinking a can today and not alcohol. Look, it's root beer.
Oh, you've got your root beer, have you?
Well, Mr. Hayden brought me a couple of cans up on Sunday because I can't get it in Aldi.
What did he want out of you? That's softening you up a bit, isn't it?
Oh yeah, root beer. So yeah, it's quite funny though because obviously, as you know, I've had a few issues with my teeth at the moment, and Lana was like, "That's great because it will clean your teeth for you as well," because she calls it Dr. Pepper with toothpaste. So yes, I am on root beer, and I think you give us a couple of cans of ginger beer when we were down with you. Yeah. My taste of this evening of this week's been ginger beer and root beer. So yeah, there we go.
Lovely.
I'll come to that, mate. You're only down the road. You know, you can definitely. Next time we go, we'll come. We're not going.
Oh.
We're not going to December one in Runcorn because we're in Liverpool that day with Mike and Mel from next door. So we won't be at the December one. Only fans are definitely pay $1.99 a month. There you go. We're £2 richer than we have been all for the last 2 years on YouTube. That's, you know, you know, I'll be happy with that. £2 a month. You know, guys. I'm going to stop that sentence right there. My root beer is better than the ginger beer. Yeah, that's the one.
It's that one.
Oh, how many Dinobots can you fill you in? It depends if it's one of those Robo-Sen Grimlocks. One.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, I had an amazing delivery the other day. I'd purchased another steelbook from our good friend Lee. What was nice about it? What's that?
How much did you overpay?
I didn't overpay, you cheeky sod. He's very good with his prices. But yeah, it was one I didn't want to miss out on, and he'd messaged me on it. And but yeah, he'd gone to the trouble of, I think, having it like next day delivery signed for, and yeah, the postwoman just left it under the car. So I got a ping on my doorbell about dinner time when I was at work, and I got home. I said to Lou, I said, "Oh, have I had the post turn up?" She was like, "No, there's been no post today." I was like, "You sure?" She said, "Yeah." So I looked back on the Ring doorbell, and I literally watched this postwoman just literally go and shove it under the car. So it had been sat there for about 7 hours. I was like, bloody hell. Luckily, he's amazing with his rapping. But I picked up the 4K edition of Violent Night. It's a
very nice.
limited edition. Oh, yes. But this was easily one of my favourite Christmas films between that and Spirited as well.
No, well, I was just about to say, Chris was raving about Spirited whatnot, wasn't he? About him getting back to watching that. And then I'm thinking, Christ, has it been a year since that's been out already? And then I remembered about Violet Night, and I was like, you know what? I prefer that over Spirited. Because it's not a musical.
I think it was rare though, because the thing is that to have two really sort of good Christmas films out in the same year, you know, the between this and Spirited as well, they're easily ones that I'm going to be adding to the list of Christmas movies to watch. Definitely.
Yeah,
you know, you got your Home Alone 1, 2, you know, Christmas Vacation, Santa Claus. Do you know what? Santa Claus has just been released on 4K as well. I might have to pick that up.
I've seen that in CEX, Santa Claus the movie.
Already?
Yeah.
What, on 4K?
CEX and Birkenhead.
What, 4K?
Might have been Blu-ray.
Oh, right, okay. You've bloody never watched, but I have. I enjoy it. In fact, I watched it a bit later.
Watched Spirited. No, because it's a musical travesty.
Yeah, and that's the other thing as well. Nice protection on it. Thank you very much, Lee. Although I do want the link for that. I'm sure you haven't sent me the link for the bloody protectors yet.
So the big question is on Whatnot. Did anyone get the copy of The Greatest Showman that was on the buyer's appreciation table?
No, I did notice that, and I was like, "That's coincidental, isn't it?" I swear to God, if me and Lou win that, you're having it back.
I was handing him over stuff, and I went, "I'll take this piece of shit."
I'm telling you, you're having it back. Yeah. But yeah, I'd like to, just going back, Ali said she found Santa Claus the movie so disappointing as an adult. Yeah, probably. But I mean, Big Steve Loves Musical. It is one of those Christmas classics, and I'd like to see it in the best quality. So I'm hoping they've done a good restoration on it.
Is that because you know he doesn't exist now, Ali?
He does exist. He comes in the chat quite regularly. How dare you?
You know, John Lithgow plays a brilliant bad guy in Santa Claus the movie.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
You know, but I always found Dudley Moore was a bit annoying.
I don't know about that one, Rob. I can't. What do you reckon?
It's a Christmas film.
Yeah.
The fact that Jack kidnaps Santa. No, it's not Jack that kidnaps Santa, is it? Jack playing Santa to save Christmas.
So when he's, apart from the over giddy, it's nearly Christmas people, when is it acceptable to start watching Christmas movies? Because I'd feel weird doing it now.
No, I'm going to get all my swearing done now because when we go podcasting, we're not going to be allowed to. So, Christmas Eve, Christmas runs, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. Done. Forget about it. Move on. See you 364 days next year. That's it. Done. Right? That's Christmas. The fact it's got Christmas in the name of the day.
Yeah, but there's I mean, is it literally, for me, it's like, I don't like having the tree up before the middle of December. 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after, that's the rule I've always gone on. Oh, you're not watching Spirited tonight, Chris, are you? Bloody hell. Like, but November is far too early. Far too early.
No, Ali, it's not. November's not. We were in Birkenhead and he'd started with the Christmas music already.
Yeah.
And the bloke in one of the charity shops went, "No, it's not too early for Christmas," and said, "This is the 5th shop I've been in, the 5th time I've heard this song."
Really?
Yeah. This, I don't know. Do you know when people say that they suffer with SAD in the winter? You know, seasonal thingy disorder.
Yeah.
Then my bar humbug sort of comes out November.
I don't know. I just for me, it's not the right time. It's not Christmas till at least December.
The only thing I look forward to at Christmas is seeing the kids on Boxing Day. That's always a joy. And I play Santa for Cafton, Bollington, don't I? The children's place, the terminally ill children's place. So I do Santa,
and you're the Santa that they get.
And I do Santa there for 2 days. 2 days of the year. Sorry, kids, if any of you watching the show, that's just
you just ruined it. We've only got 15 people watching, mate. The chances are slim.
But last year, I had my beard on that tight, right, and it was cutting me off at the back of the ears. And then one of the little bastards pulled me beard, and I went, yes, like that, and pulled, and I went with it, and he went, I thought it was fake. But no, but that's probably that's probably one of the highlights of the year for me, really, spending a couple of days down there with them. And
Ali, I think the world of you, but that just really annoys me. You're one of those. I've got most of my shopping done. It's Christmas already.
Everyone's getting the presents wrapped in clear cling film this year. Clear. What's the point in wrapping it?
Always makes my living room floor a rapid station. That's true, yeah. Yeah, that's true. When I ran Mankind, we was contacted to play me. Yeah, no. Although in retail, it is one of the worst things about retail is when Christmas kicks in.
No, you see, so what we do with them is that you make reindeer food, you decorate like decorations, and you do all sorts with them, and then obviously at the end of the day, they all get a present from Santa. And I was gutted one year because they get bespoke presents, you know. So the parents obviously tell the charity what the kid wants for Christmas from Santa. And
Mum,
one year,
Santa nicked me Transformer.
yeah, well, it wasn't this year, it was last year. Do you remember the Black Series Darth Vader?
Yeah.
And it was like really hard to get hold of, wasn't it? And it was like a limited edition run
Not
Darth
for you,
Vader.
it wasn't.
And then my boss at the time was stood behind me, and she was dressed as an elf, and she passed it over and she went, "Now, Santa, this is for the kids." And I'm like, "Why? What is it?" And then she went, "You should know, shouldn't you, Santa?" And I'm like, "Right, okay." So she's telling me not to be like,
Not to act surprised.
the kid ripped this present open, and I'm like, "I want that one back. That wasn't for you." It's like, but yeah,
No
it was
way.
good fun. It was good fun. But yeah, I'm looking for. I look forward to that. That's probably that and seeing my own kids on Boxing Day. They're the only things I look forward to at Christmas. It's just another
Oh
couple of days.
no, no, thank you, Ali. I'm good. I don't need reminding how many days are left till Christmas. Thank you. But yeah, so I'm going with it's acceptable from December onwards to watch Christmas movies.
Christmas Eve
No,
to Boxing Day. And if you're one of these people that have Christmas Eve,
no,
Christmas box gift presents or whatever, you
no.
need to be shot as well.
I have bloody Alex Lou's birthday on the 21st, then Christmas, then my mum's birthday. That's what I have. And then I've escaped for a few months until it's Ollie's birthday. And Leo's in the same month as mine.
Do you know what he accused me of on Sunday? Being a grump on last week's show. He said I did nothing but moan the whole show last week.
Have you watched it? I'm surprised we've got people back.
It's only because we put major announcement.
Oh God!
We're going to put that on every week. Look, we've doubled our viewing figures.
You just put at the end of it. Steve still doesn't know, but he'll find out.
Oh God! I don't know. Can't wait for Christmas when the little one turns up.
Oh, you big soft sod! You're going to end up with so many toys that are so noisy. It's unbelievable.
Yours.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that aren't yours.
Yeah.
Flip on the list. I don't know. Is it growing, that list?
Come on, let's get the chat going, shall we? Let's get somebody in here. There you go, ladies and gents. The link has gone in, so please feel. Oh, it's my. Speaking of me kids, here's my eldest. Hey, babe.
Even she's come to see if you're grumpy.
Yeah. I wasn't grumpy on last week's show.
Yeah, bloody was.
I wasn't.
A reincarnation of Scrooge.
See, Jessica must be really bored. She's decided to tune in to watch us.
So you know what I want to hear? I want to hear my dad talk about Transformers for a bit. That's what I want. Hey, Magpie. That's exactly what you want, I'm telling you.
Oi, you're supposed to be on my side.
He's always, see, that's his superpower. He's like the Hulk. I'm always angry. That's you. I'm always grumpy. So I had a choice of I picked up a couple of things from a couple of 4Ks from CEX the other day. I got A Star Is Born, which I know you love a musical.
Hang on.
I don't need it on full screen. You can see. But I was umming and ahhing as to which one to pick up, and it was either Schindler's List on 4K, which I know there's a special edition out at the minute, or Saturday Night Fever. So I went with Saturday Night Fever. It's a bit more of an uplifting movie. So,
but how many copies of that have you got now?
To be honest with you, I don't even think I've got it on Blu-ray. You know. Oh, there's me Santa Claus movie. I'm all right. I'm sorted. I don't think I've got it on Blu-ray. Which is another reason why I picked it up, because I've got Schindler's List. But yeah, I'm going to be watching watching me Violent Night and me Spirited this year. But yeah, I was quite chuffed with that. I'm hoping it's the 45th anniversary, so I'm hoping it's they've done a good transfer on it. I'd picked up a couple of Hitchcock box sets as well, which were just from the charity shop. A couple of DVD ones. Just some random movies in there that I've never heard of. So I picked them up. The new box set's out now, so I'm hoping to pick that up at some point. But it's like 70 quid for 5 movies, so it might. Hopefully, it'll drop a little bit, but I might end up picking it up from CEX if I have to.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's look at it. Have you moved my room around?
That's funny because he says it's everybody's room. That
It's my room.
In fact, I tell a lie. He says it's the cat's room.
It's the cat's room. It's also the guest room. Yes, we have moved it around a little bit. It looks a lot better. You've got a lot more floor space.
You'll love it.
Yeah, you'll love it.
In fact, I think he's even done a video on it. So go back and watch it. You'll enjoy.
Do you know what? Amelia, my youngest, has watched that video because she commented on the video and she commented in messages. She sent me a couple of messages about voice notes. It was via messenger about how she'd do the room, and it's like, can't win.
Bloody hell!
Yeah. I haven't seen him this week though because Jessie was at an awards night in there. So she's picked up a sports award, so I'm looking forward to seeing him next week. So, yeah.
You big softy.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell a lie. I have bloody got it. So I'll get rid of that.
Had it.
I'll get one copy I had, so I'll get rid of that.
I knew you had it with your 18 copies of Dirty Dancing.
No, I'll get rid of that now. I've got that one. That's fine by me. But yeah. Magpie says he's had the 90s It arrive today. I like that one. I don't know if I prefer it. I think I prefer that over the original, over the newer ones.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the new It. Oh, no, sorry. I've seen part 1. I haven't seen part 2. I wasn't really a big fan of it.
Part 2, I couldn't really get into. I enjoyed that first one, but I couldn't really get into the second one. It was a bit convoluted story, really. Come get rid of
Jessica.
Jess, would you like me to send your dad a copy of Dirty Dancing? Because I know he's really a big fan, and I might have one or two spare.
I think they've actually inherited a couple of copies of that Greatest Showman. They got the DVD version of Greatest Showman. You
see, I want to make sure that your kids have always got a copy in your room, specifically in that room, just in case they come round and need it.
Yeah, when you hid it in my display cabinet.
I was trying to be nice. I was doing it for your kids, man. See, there you go. Not for you.
No. Anyway, good evening, Rob. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. Just got back for the day. Just bought me a new car today, so I'm just testing it out.
Oh, yeah, the long journey, wasn't it?
It should have been, but I'm a lot of traffic when I hit Manchester.
Oh, really?
No,
but I'm back there in 2 days for Comic Con, so I've had to just come up, do a couple of days' work before I head back down.
I thought you were going to say, yes, it was a long journey, or it should have been. I've ended up on the back of a trailer.
Yeah.
Well, I've done the last 6 years in an automatic, so I've gone back to manual.
You're having to use the gear stick now. Oh, shocking.
I've got automatics and I've got manuals as well. So please, I'll have a cup of tea. Yeah.
I had 10 miles. I only had 10 miles on the car, but I gave my old car in on 97,000 miles.
Yeah.
So I've got an automatic and I've got manual as well. So I spent a couple of days driving the Volvo. So I thought, you know what, I'll go to work in the MX-5. Yeah. And when you're driving down the motorway in 6th gear for about 40 minutes, you forget that you're in the manual. So when I got to the top of the ramp, the which installed the car, then I thought, what the hell's that? I realized it's a manual.
Then you automatically, when you install it, automatically forget how to restart it, didn't you? You just assume that you're looking there, all people, then you put your hazard lights on.
You shouldn't be able to stall an automatic.
No.
It shouldn't be a thing.
How have you managed to stall an automatic?
mental, that, isn't it?
Supposedly.
But yeah, it's mad jumping from automatic to manual. But then I had the stage of driving the two cars in the same day. So I'd take the Mazda, I'd take the Volvo to work, and then I'd jump in the Mazda. So when you got used to driving one and then you jump into the other, you're like, what am I doing here? But yeah.
My car's very quiet because mine's half electric.
Also, it's a hybrid.
So it boots up electric. It kind of charges as you're driving.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Has it got the force assistant charging? Has it? So when you brake,
yeah.
back into the battery.
And it only cost me 33,000.
Oh, is that it? I'm surprised you didn't buy two then.
No, I was gonna.
You'll be trading it in for a 7-seater next year.
That's only half price compared to the price of the pram you've just bought.
Yeah. Well, they had to. Well, I've got a Cougar anyway, so I've got a new Cougar, but it needs to have a big boot for all the stuff, for the baby stuff.
Yeah, that's.
I've already fitted the seat in, and we've got 3 months.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, what are you doing with your toy room then, Rob? What's your plan? Because I'm assuming that's becoming babies.
Most of it's been packed out for a long time, but our loft is as big as our second floor, so we've got a 4-bedroom, and I'm gonna extend it and have a cinema room above with a toy room to an extent. I've bought a lot of bits recently in Turtles form to give him because it's generational. It's still gonna, hopefully in 3-4 years, it's still going to go in. So I can say this is the stuff that the version I had, and this is the stuff you're going to have, and it's the best time to buy because I think it's only going to go up in price.
Yeah.
And I could do it with the Transformers, but I'm going to is it the Rescue Bot ones, the ones that are cheaper ones?
Yeah.
I'm going to introduce them. They might hate it. They might just want to play football though.
So do you want me to keep an eye out for the Rescue Bots? I see them quite a bit,
but I think they do collect a hefty price as well. I think I'm going to think about doing stuff that I was brought up on because my dad never showed me stuff, and as an adult, I buy stuff that I couldn't afford as a kid. So I want a selection of stuff that was my generation that I can pass on.
I think this is what all of this is, isn't it? You know, whenever you see a 30-year-old plus man with a room full of toys, it's all stuff that he couldn't afford when he was a kid.
But the stuff you had as a kid, when you was about 18 or 17 to 18, when you was into girls, you got rid of it. That's all baby stuff. I don't want it. And then when you kind of 20-ish, you're a bit older, you start thinking about the stuff. That's why I say Ben 10 is going to shoot up in price. Not our generation, but that's the big thing. I think in 10 years, Ben 10 is going to be the big toy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think it's already going up now, to be fair, that.
Well, like I said,
the Action Man shooting up as well. The plasticky ones that come out.
New ones.
They're quite valuable.
The early 2000 Action Men. You see a lot of the Ben 10 stuff in the car boots. You see a lot of the rescue bots at the car boots.
Yeah.
I've stopped seeing a lot of this stuff now, though. So I'm on Vinted for a lot of this.
I just see Vinted. I've looked at Vinted a few times, but I see it very expensive. I seem to have a lot more joy getting things on Facebook Marketplace, getting the bits I need, splitting it, and then giving it to Manic Miners.
Yeah.
The only boot sale I go to is the one in Warrington, the shit one on the corner.
The one at B&Q.
Yeah, because obviously Laura works in SCS in Warrington, so I pop there at like 10 o'clock. I used to go in London. I used to go boot sales at 5 in the morning. 5 in the morning, with your torch on your hat, and used to find stuff. And it's because everyone knows about stuff now. That's why when I left London, people would know I was going for toys and would follow me to stalls. Yeah. So, and it got earlier and earlier. And if you're lucky enough to find something, if you're maybe 8 o'clock, maybe it's a little bit too late.
Yeah.
But like with the Runcorn one, where it's once a month, you got that opportunity where people are saving their stuff up for the boot sale.
Yeah. It's not bad, the Runcorn one. It was in the indoor car park, and there was about 5 levels.
Okay.
So it's getting busier. It's getting chocker. We got there for about 7:30. So we parked up at Trident and walked in through that way. So we missed all the queue and got in. Picked up a few bits. It was a lot of the, do you know, the tall Marvel figures, do you know, the plasticky ones, that
Plastic
don't
ones,
move,
yeah.
the Titan size ones, and there was loads of them. There was Chris picked up a load of stuff. He did really well, but
It
I've got
could
to
be
be
interesting with a new video kind of idea you could do is buy them big ones because the paintwork's not the best
yeah.
and repaint them.
Mm.
Paint some of them because obviously they're good scale. They're just 5 points of articulation like the old Turtles and like Star Wars, you know, legs, arms, head, and just make them look better. I think there's some really good ones on YouTube.
I've still got all me Warhammer paints and sculpting stuff here for Warhammer, so I've got all of that stuff. I could probably do that.
And you've got to make room on your display for something large soon, haven't you?
Oh, that's it. But
Yeah, potentially.
so yeah, but I've got to be a bit picky about what I'm getting for me to keep. Like I say, I've cleared out a load of the collection the last couple of weeks. So
I think you collect how I used to collect. What I mean by that is I don't buy. If I buy loose has to be complete for me. Because when I was seeing your Bucky stuff, they're great figures, but you're paying maybe £10 more to get Willie's glasses and the hat, which once you buy them individually, they're hard to get.
The only one that I've actually got the accessories for is Dead-Eye Duck. You know,
About 12 guns, isn't it?
You know, his blasters. They're the only things I've got. But like I say, Bucky for me, it was sort of a
12X,
flyby when we were up in Garstang seeing Z because he had a Bucky O'Hare figure. And a couple of weeks earlier, we were talking about the cartoon on the show, and then I ended up picking up a Bucky, and that just sent me down the rabbit hole I didn't know I wanted.
So they're great figures. If you look at, they re-released them recently, and they released Jenny.
The new ones.
If you see the Jenny figure, because that was going to originally come out in the wave back in the day, never released it, but it scales well next to your vintage. And if you get the Toad Croaker, I think the vehicle, it's got a little kind of it's got like a marble in it, and as you turn it left and right, it croaks the vehicle.
Oh,
really like basic technology, but it's cool.
That reminds me of them toys that go meow, meow.
But Kev, they're pan puppies in. Do you remember pan puppies?
Yeah.
He's got them in on. You pull the babies out the backside.
So I ended up with a Rambo figure from.
Yeah, I think they're cool.
That cost me £4. He's got a couple of these and a couple of different ones, so I might go back and get the others. And then I picked up Bruce Lee. Now you need to send me Lee's address, and I'll get this off to Lee. That was only 20p at the boot sale.
Let's call it.
So yeah, doesn't do anything. He's solid, like
BBC. The likeness is really good though.
Yeah, so you need to send me Lee's address, and I'll get that off to him. But other than that, like I say, I've got to be a bit. I'm trying not to delve down this Funko Soda thing. I've got a couple of them, and I'm being a bit more particular about what Funko Pops I've got as well.
So I've gone down a rabbit hole of saying I didn't want to. I don't like the reaction figures.
Yeah,
but I was doing a video back in the day. Reaction were making figures on lines that never come out as a childhood. So you had, I think Alien was first, then you had some Terminator ones.
Ones up here, yeah.
They're cool figures. And then B&M recently have had Ninja Turtles Reaction, and I don't like figures that already released as a toy line, but B&M has become almost the place to go to for figures that are exclusive in America. So they've had Super 7 figures, They're really a hidden gem. So I've been picking up these reaction figures for £4 each, and the artwork's amazing. I think I've got about 15 of them. So that's one of my videos coming soon. And I've been buying mini pops. You seen the mini pops like that big?
Yeah.
Bitty pop, I think they're called. So I might have got some turtle ones.
But you can get them in Asda, the little ones. But like I say, you've sent me some stuff for me to keep an eye out on my B&M for you. So I'll I'll do that. I used to go to B&M and pick up all my Titan returns. Do you know when like Smith and Entertainer stopped doing it?
Yeah.
B&M must have bought the job lot off them all, and I was just like, oh, I'll have that one. And like you say, they were running like £4 a transformer, so it's just like, yeah, I'll pick a load of them up.
That's why I want to keep an eye on Ghost Booters, because every time they seem to there'll be a store somewhere in the UK, they'll have something in there from B&M and they'll post a link to it, and then everyone goes on a hunt to help out each other to find them. So a lot of the time, I don't know this information. I'll find out in these other groups.
Yeah. I don't know. So, Steve, did you pick up any figures on that Facebook group that Rob put you in the other day?
No, because the reason why is at the minute I'm not short of figures. I think Whatnot over the last 2 months or so has filled me up a little bit with figures at the minute. So I've got some on the way. I've got some WWF wrestlers on the way from Gary the collector.
Well, Hasbro or Jax.
Hasbro. I got I got the original Ultimate Warrior, the 2 versions.
The pushdown one.
And the other one, really good condition. I got some Legion of Doom, the ones that push down.
Very hard to have them with the spikes as well. A lot of them lose their spikes.
They're good condition. And then there's a couple more, so I've got they're on the way. But it was very hard because he had loads of the retro ones, sort of from his own collection. Hey, Rich. So they were in good condition, but I'm not, like I say, I'm not short. I'm short of room. I'm not short of bloody figures at the minute. So unless it's something that really sort of catches my eye,
I don't get notifications when Gary's live.
You've got to miss thingy the shows, haven't you? You've got to pin the shows or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm missing all these good stuff. You picked up an Ace McLeod, didn't you, a Centurion the other day?
That what?
The Centurion.
Oh yeah, the Centurion. Yeah.
Is it got all his accessories? Was just
no, I've got a few bits. I've got the backpack and these two little red bits.
Yeah, again, Manic Miners. He's got all the accessories, all of them, and he's got Instagram as well. He's had all of the Centurion parts in.
Well, he got the 3 Centurions in the other week, didn't he? But by the time I messaged him, he'd already sold them. I was like,
is that since I was last there? He had them. When it was a few days ago.
No.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go and pop and see him on Monday.
I'll let him know.
Yeah, I'll pop and see him on Monday.
Sit down.
He knows about your arrival anyway. I've explained stuff. But as you look at your collection, like with toys, with me, if I start something, I'm a bit anal, but I have to complete it. I can't have a figure missing. I see Steve's collection, little Steve. He has a selection. I could have like a Beetleborg, stuff that he remembers, but not like you wouldn't have all the Power Rangers. You might have a couple of them. Is that just the way you collect?
I think the thing is that for me, it's like very much like you two. You know, there's certain toys that I played with as a kid. There's certain things that I've never seen before. Like the Shadow. Those sort of figures. Yeah. I've seen the film, but I never saw the figures. Whereas we all had Turtles, didn't we, growing up?
Yeah.
So I'd love to get a full set. If anybody knows anyone that has Turtles, that would be great.
What are you missing? I've got triples of every lot of Turtles. You've just got Mikey.
I was
the original ones.
A well-placed nod there, Steve. While we've got
don't see that with that word there. No, I think I've got a Donatello, and I've got the Michelangelo. I think the Raphael one I've got's a little bit younger.
Okay, all right. I've got a few shredders, Bebops and Rocksteadies.
Oh, have you really?
I will show you my tubs in here in the front room. I've got tubs of maybe 600. But I'm gonna make some Bounty retro boxes for you both of toys, random bits.
That'd be amazing, thank you.
But I'm going to see what bits you ain't got.
I got these off Chris the other day from his Whatnot. I got Dr. Evil.
Okay.
They're quite big, actually. Bobbleheads. And then I got Austin Powers. But these are $19.99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Did you ever have with Transformers? I think with all the He-Men, were they called they were little like warthogs, and then they had fur on their heads. Were they Transformers or He-Man?
Oh
Do you remember?
yeah, I remember them.
They were little pullback monsters, like a
Yeah.
warthog, but they had furry tops. They called Gnarlies or something. I don't know if they were a part of the. Do you remember the meteor orbs as well? They were eggs that transformed into dinosaurs. That was a He-Man line. They were quite good. Yeah. Almost like Rock Lords, because
Yeah,
some of them
there
Rock
was
Lords.
an email one that it looked like it had moss on it, didn't it?
Yeah. You got the He-Man Turtles soon. That's another thing they're doing.
Really?
Mm.
Mm.
I don't think there is a toy company that hasn't made Ninja Turtles figures now.
No, probably not.
Well, like I say, they just move all the licensing. I couldn't believe you did your video over that the latest cartoon movie. When you did that video, I couldn't believe when I saw them on sale already and as they're in the bargain bins.
They were pound at one point in some Asdas. If you look on the Ghost Boot, one Asda was knocking all the figures out for £1 each. Went to Warrington, loaded my trolley up with about 50 of them, and they all scanned full price. That was selective stores, but it's a thing. You know, they've made a lot of money on the figures, and there's a new wave coming out in January, wave 2 of all the mutants like Mondo Gecko, and the new series starts in March. So there's a lot of shell formers. They've got Star Wars shell formers now. Do you know what I mean? If they don't sell out, they sit there for years. And Turtles keeps their value. So in a year's time, they could still sell them for £10.
In fact, I remember now when we had the Turtles, I think that Christmas, my mum bought like 2 for my brother and 2 for me. I think I had Donatello and Raphael or something, and he had Michelangelo and Leonardo. But it was always because we were not many years apart. A lot of things like that, they'd literally split it so they could get the whole set, but we'd have to share between us.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I saw when we were in Birkenhead. It was in that trading play. They had. Do you remember Manta Force?
Yeah.
And I had the 3 big ships. I had the big white one. I had the red one, and I had the black one. I had a couple of bases with all the little people that just bend it.
Right.
Yeah, the complete red Venom for 35 quid. And I was like, do I pick it up? Do I buy it? And then I'm like, where do I put it? That'll send me down the
thing is, I'm not sure if the top bit was connected, because you could start hanging stuff from the ceiling. Wing or...
I remember the big fin at the back was connected to the shell. To the shell. And the bit in the middle out was like so you wouldn't be very hard to sort of balance it out. I'm playing Modern Warfare 3. Why aren't you watching the show?
Or is that Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to install it over.
I was busy last night, and I was still watching. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I was trying to get to work. Do you know what I mean? All it was, it was linked to my car, and then I muted myself, and I had to run in my mum's. So.
It was funny that, because at one point you were like, right, we might have to call this and do it another time. I'm like,
and no, I enjoy it when they left.
Literally, just at the last second, you come in and everybody goes off.
I did pick up. Hold on. I did have a parcel turn up. It's only one figure, but it's.
So geek out with, just while you're getting your figure out your box there, Rob. Geek out with Dave saying he's going down the rabbit hole on eBay. Toys from his.
Wow, that's cool.
Toys from his childhood. Picked up the X-Men movie jet the other day, boxed and complete.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's the blue one, isn't it? So I've got this shredder turned up. Someone sent it to me. That's a Green Ranger shredder. But I've got two. If anyone wants one, I've got 2 Tommies.
No way. That's well cool.
Tommy Oliver.
I like me green / white Ranger.
Yeah, the Power Rangers and Turtles are more your thing, aren't they, Steve?
Yeah.
Action Force, He-Man, Transformers, the McDonald's game.
I did a video. One of my first early videos on YouTube was the McDonald's McChangeables. Do you remember them McChangeables?
Oh, yeah.
I think the first wave was on food products, and they did animals. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're amazing. I think they're amazing.
I've got a couple of these different ones. I almost spent. I was looking at some chicken nuggets, the chicken nugget ones.
Yeah, they're quality.
Yeah, I was looking at them. Somebody wanted 20 quid for them on Vinted, and I was quite tempted. But yeah, but these are cool though, the way that they just make like your like that's milkshake, and then obviously that's your fries. And
America had a few different ones. Remember, you go to McDonald's, or even when you had cereals, you had good toys in them. Now you've got a book or something made out of cardboard.
Yeah, do you want a book or a toy? And it's pretty much the same thing, made out of the same material.
Well, the Super Mario figure was cool.
I was going through the drive-through last week. Were we in the drive-through? Right. No, it was when we were in McDonald's and Birkenhead last week.
So you put that when you finish.
And there was a sign on the display. We ran out of toys and the so you're like, what are you giving your kids? Because obviously the kids don't want the books or they don't want the fruit bag. So what are you giving? The reason why you're buying Happy Meal.
One of the best Happy Meal toys. It wasn't when I was a kid. It was a six. There's loads of videos on YouTube. I think it's an 8-part figure, and it was the Inspector Gadget one. I don't know if you've ever seen it. And each one of his arms or legs was a different like gadget, and you kept it. He was like a good 12-inch figure.
Yeah.
That's what I miss. Going to a boot sale and just buying a big box of Happy Meal toys.
Yeah, and just rooting through it.
My uncle
Philip.
Don't do that. No.
Them Happy Meal toys and Kinder Egg toys.
Kinder Eggs.
Yeah, and every time we went round to my granddad's, we always ended up rooting through his boxes of Kinder Egg toys just to see what he had. And
I've just got to see what's going on with my dog. I'll be my dog's on a warpath.
So what are you up to this weekend then, Stevie?
I don't know yet because I'm working Saturday, so I'll be off on Sunday onwards. So try and maybe get a few more movies watched that I'm still waiting to watch. I want to watch that Haunting in Venice. But I ended up watching Saw X the other day instead.
He's going to some little convention, isn't he, in somewhere down south?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I was at the Olympia a couple of weeks for that. Obviously, for that baby show where I spent loads of money. And they do a film and comic con convention. That's where I met who did I meet there? Kevin Eastman, Ninja Turtle Destroyer, and I'm going down. Me and Lee are going, so I'm going back. We're going Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, it's got an interesting list of guests and hosts, hasn't it?
It's different to Comic Con. Comic Con, when you go to Comic Con in London, every other stall is the same. It's normally manga t-shirts. It's more about the cosplay than the actual stalls. Yeah. When you go to a film and Comic Con, it's explanatory. It's more film and it's better stuff.
I do need to go to a proper one. I go to all the little ones because, like I say, you get quite good deals, toys, stuff like that. Look at that witness. But yeah, I'd love to go to one. I'd love to do what Dave did and go to New York. Reviews and New York. And just blew me apart. Looking at all his Facebook posts and all the videos he was putting out, and I was like, wow, that's it. That's a Comic Con. That's how you do it.
I think you should do a boot sale challenge video where you'll have like a tenner each, and you have to buy something for the other person, and at the end you vote what the best toy is the other person's found.
Like I say, you said that a couple of weeks ago, and
do it.
Sort of Secret Santa type of thing. I'm well up for that. Oh, that reminds me, I got Den in the Not So Secret Santa, didn't I, Steve?
You got who?
Den.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was giving him some tips on what you might like.
I'll have to keep my eye out for some like wicker or something for Marie. So yeah, I'm up for that. Car boot challenge.
I did a £5 challenge back in the day. I'm sure some people spent over £5 because there's no way some of the stuff that people got was a £5. But yeah, I think it's good to do.
No, like I say, that Bruce Lee was only 20 pence. It was just like, yeah, I got that and a Bumblebee, so I paid £1 for 2 of them.
Yeah,
Good doing it.
I paid up.
It's when you go to Boots, you pick something up. You know what it is like. How much is this bit of plastic? You don't look too excited, do you? At Boots sales, people will read you. That's £38. How much is a bit of plastic? That's £48. Oh, how much is this very rare Ninja Turtles figure from 1974? It's like what? Don't do that.
No. But the only problem is that if I'm not wearing my hoodie, I've got a t-shirt on, so they can see my tattoos. So when I'm looking at Transformers, they know that I like the Transformers because obviously they can see the tattoos. And you get talking to them, and then all of a sudden you can see them racking the price up in the head. I only want the 50p for that, but he's going to pay a £5 for this. Oh, before you realise it, it's £8, and you're like, oh, do you know what? It's not worth it. So you're talking to pay him more.
You paid a
I used to do quite a lot of boot sales. I remember doing one with Laura, and there was a figure on there that I didn't realise I put on there. And I was like, I've got someone picked it up, so I've got to say it's a ridiculous amount of money because I want to keep it. I said that's a tenner, and he bought it. I was like, damn it.
Little Steve's fell victim to the car boots recently, haven't you, mate? Because you've been buying stuff that we've picked up when we were in Runcorn or wherever.
Yeah.
And I know what the person's paid for it, and then he's gone and paid like 5 times the amount for it and whatnot.
I mean, the thing is, it's difficult because some of it is quite not rare stuff, but you don't see it all the time.
No.
I mean, Chris had that Chucky doll yesterday, and oh, right, really?
Yeah.
He can see himself on the TV. So Loki, that's you idiot. It's you.
But that Transformers, the Optimus Prime gun that he had, yesterday. I've never seen one of them. So
no, he had 2 of them.
Yeah, when he picked it up, he was like, "Have you seen one of these before?" And I said, "No, but I know it." When it transformed, it was Prime's Ion Blaster, so it was like, right, okay, that's really, really cool. I like that. Yeah. And then 30 seconds later, we spot a second one on a table. On another
different table.
Yeah, it wasn't the same table. No, we walked up to go to the top level. On the way up, I spotted it in the corner and said, "There's not one of those Primes." So we went and picked up a second one. Like I said, I've never seen them before.
No.
Let's go on it.
It's like, yeah. But there was some really good stuff at the boot sale. But if we were still into the reselling, I probably would have went nuts and got loads. But because we haven't done the reselling, I've been cutting my collection down as well. I've been a bit particular about what we're picking up.
Yeah.
We're picking up the old Pokemon cards. That's where money, isn't it? In cardboard. Easy to store.
Yeah.
We went through a stage of buying thousands of them and then going through, is it that GTC, the car trading?
Yeah.
And none of them were worth any money. Unless you got like an original from like the early 90s when they started doing them. But none of the recent ones are worth anything, are they?
I think you got a few. I don't know. When I used to run, I used to have an independent game shop back in the day, and we was the first store in the UK to sell Pokemon cards. And people used to come with scales and weigh the packs because obviously, and what they do now is there's a barcode in them there. Obviously, you get unlocked characters online, but they've made that a weighed card now, so there's no way to weigh a packet to know if you've got a rarity in there. So it's money making for a bit of cardboard. Same as Yu-Gi-Oh! I was never into Yu-Gi-Oh! But I know that's some of them cards demands a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I picked up as part of that bundle with them with some of the toys I picked up recently. In one of the charity shops, I found this little Hulk guy, And I've just searched it now, and it seems to be like a 1999 Burger King one. It's pretty cool.
How do you search for what they are on your phone?
Just Google.
I'm going to tell when we go offline. I'll tell you a secret. A toy inside us. But if you scan something in on your phone, it'll tell you how much it is and what accessories it comes with.
That would make
on any figure.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll need to share that one with me.
Someone told me in the toy community and not to tell anyone. I've just said online now, look, bloody hell. But you actually scan a loose figure in and it'll come up what comes with it, and it's already built into your phone. No apps needed.
Okay, that's interesting. Like I said, I've been looking at it and I was like, I wonder what it was, because I just shoved it on the shelf when I got home. But I was.
It's not working or nothing.
It felt like that it was an older one. So, yeah, that's not too bad. It's not too bad.
To go with your Burger King Storm that you've got.
Thanks, mate.
What they had in Manic Miner's quite cool. They had a full set of Cadillacs and dinosaurs figures. I don't know if you remember them. They were yes. Some of the dinosaurs were ex-Dino Riders figures. But they put onto that range as well. But they come with a dinosaur and a figure. They're cool.
I think, not to offend Chris, but I'm sure I got this one off Gary. Have a look at this, Steve. Put me on big screen, mate. You'll like this.
Do you know, you can do this yourself, you know.
I know, but you're my PA. You seen this one?
See, what's going on with Funko? So they're doing Popsies. The Popsies?
They're doing literally loads of stuff
Everything.
at the minute. It's just all sorts, but I think we saw this and was like, that's really cool. You cracked me up.
If you can get away with selling plastic crack to adults, then that's what they're going to do, aren't they? So,
well, do you remember the Mighty Mugs that were like Pops?
No,
they were Marvel. They're called Mighty Mugs just before Pops come out. But they were figures, big chunky figures like pop vinyls. Sorry, but Super 7 used to be a part of Funko.
Yeah,
and they went their separate ways. And they do everything's a Funko now. The Funko Minis, Funko Bitties. But they make money. It's the best thing about them is you can take Funko Pops out of a package and put them back in, and they still look new. You don't damage the packaging.
Wow.
No.
I've got enough Funko sodas now, I think.
They got a sale on them, by the way, on Worlds Apart. The sodas.
I'm trying not to delve down that too much. That Funko soda.
I mean, there's some really cool ones, but I was out of the room yesterday, and Lou bid on something and won it, and she was like, "Yeah, you'll have the Neo Funko soda." I come back in, she was like, "I thought you might want that," and I was like, "Yay!" I mean, to be fair, it's a cool soda, but
she didn't pay that much for it either, you know.
I think it was about 11 quid, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't that much. Wasn't that much, because I was bidding on it and it got to about 6 quid, 7 quid, and then I stopped when I saw Lou came in, and I think she got it below a tenner.
Do
you keep the cans though? Are they part of it? Can you use them as a stand, or are they just like?
Yeah, you open the top of the can out to get the figure out. So I've got a couple down there that I put the lid on and stand them on top of the can.
Have you?
Any of the loose ones I've got at the bottom of the cans, and then the ones that come with the cans are on top. So it's like a sort of display stand.
I found.
And you fussed about chases or not? Not even fussed about them.
Sorry, what?
Are you fussed about getting like chases? I know there's one in 2 different variants. It's not a big enough difference.
I'm not overly worried about that. The chase for Johnny Rico, for example, he's got a different smile.
A different smile?
Yeah, that's all it is. He's the same stance, different smile. You know, it was just like, okay. And people are going nuts buying 50 Johnny Ricos to see if they can find that one with a different smile.
Wow.
There's a guy on YouTube called Pop Pops. He does a lot of unboxings of them. He's worth watching.
Yeah. What are these the Funko Rewind, Steve.
Yeah.
You've got a copy of them. Are they any better condition or better standard than the Funko?
I think they're more detailed, to be fair. They definitely seem to look it. I mean, they're about the same size as a soda, but he's definitely a lot better detailed. You know what I mean?
I've been looking at the Ninja Turtles 2 Just calling it.
See, that just looks like to me Funko have Funkanized a Playmobil toy.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple of these Funko sodas. Like I say, the Johnny Rico one's quite cool. I've just got the one that's the hand here now. It's the Falcon one. Falcon Captain America. I do like them. But like I say, if you were to go down the route of getting them all, you'd have thousands of them.
Yeah. Very easy. It's like, I mean, they're smaller than the pops, aren't they?
Yeah, they're smaller than the pop.
In fact, arguably easier to stack the cans.
Well, I think Laura's come back from shopping, so I'm going to have to love you and leave you all.
Take care, bud.
No
Have a good stream, guys.
Bye.
See you soon.
But you see, the other thing I wanted to talk about we'll go back onto actual movie content. Ghostbusters. Have you seen the new trailer?
I saw the trailer. Now the question is this enough to make you want to move out of New York?
It's almost like living in Emmerdale, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so bad to happen all the time.
It's the only place in Britain where a plane can fall on your head and you can get 18 murderers move into the little village in the Dales.
Basically, at Christmas, you don't want to be in Emmerdale, EastEnders, or Coronation Street. You want to be abroad, ideally, but not New York.
I saw the trailer for it, and I was
absolutely, Luke. Of course, you can.
Yeah, but the link's in the chat, mate. I was absolutely made up that it's sort of the mix between the old and the young again. It's not like
just pass the torch and that's it.
Yeah, and off we go.
Yeah.
I was sort of disappointed. At the same time, it was a mix between the old and the young.
It's no pleasing you, is it?
No, well, I think because what happened with Afterlife, and you got the cheap sort of nostalgia sort of run. At the end, you got the nostalgia. Hey, Laney, at the end, you got the nostalgia run, didn't you? Where everyone was like, "Oh, wow, they're here." But now it's like, okay, they're there. But I'm wondering what type of comedy I'll be going with, because I didn't really enjoy the comedy from Afterlife because it was more comedy more than the first one. The first one was sort of serious with comedy, but this, and it depends what you get. And I don't really enjoy Paul Rudd either. Good evening, Laney. How are you?
All right. How are you?
Not so bad. Have you seen the new trailer for Ghostbusters?
I have not.
No. You need to go off, watch that, and come back.
I haven't enjoyed the others. They don't compare to the originals.
No.
Well, there's at least one of them we don't talk about. So
yeah.
Which one's that one, Steve?
We don't talk about it. It's like Fight Club. Even the actual people that made the movies don't acknowledge it when they bring out a trilogy and completely miss that out.
Yeah, the Ghostbusters Mega Ultimate box set. It's not got the 20.
I know those jazz. Yeah. So erase it from existence.
So in the trailer for the new film, Laney, they're in New York. It gets hit by like a ice sort of blast, and everyone gets frozen, and it kills a lot of people off, etc. And they go there, but they've got the hey Luke, they've got the original cast. They've got your Bill Murray's, your Dan Aykroyd's, and all that, and then they've got the kids in it from Ghostbusters Afterlife as well, because they're Egon's grandkids, aren't they? So that's the link between the two. So I'm sort of glad that they've linked the two together, and we haven't just got like another nostalgia one where they're just like cameos. But then I'm also like,
are you having issues with your webcam?
Every time I move, it knocks it in the thing.
Did you order another one?
Not yet.
Oh, fair enough.
I haven't decided what to get. Hold on, I'm gonna.
So, have you seen the trailer, Luke, for the new Ghostbusters?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I put the trailer on my channel as well.
So, what do you think of it?
Yeah, it's good.
That's me webcam on the computer.
Is that your computer one? Is it?
Yeah, because it just shows the keyboard, which is weird. Think of that. You know what I mean? I guess it's for gamers or something. Cause
it looks like you like this.
Yeah, I know it's like.
Remember when you were a kid and you used to call the person looking over the wall?
Yeah, that's what it is. Hello. Yeah, sorry, mate. Go on, you were saying.
Better.
So I'm sort of glad that we've not just got the nostalgia sort of pop up cameo sort of bit. Are you worried though that might be the way that they go with other franchises?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that'll be easy done, that wouldn't it? Give us a franchise for a movie that you've done 20 years ago. Is a new cast, and then we'll pop it in. That's what I'm worried about. Bad Boys.
Yeah.
You know, because they're doing enough of Bad Boys. Will Smith and Martin Long, and I know in this one they were saying
the baton, so to speak.
Yeah, I know this one they said that we're going to focus more on Martin Lawrence's character. More than Will Smith's one, and that's probably because of what's happened with Will Smith recently in the last couple of years. But it's more to do with if they carry on the Bad Boys franchise, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's character is going to be more pop-up cameos than anything else, and then you could just have any generic police movie action film other than that.
Yeah, I see. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Then it's not Bad Boys, is it? Because they are them. I mean, I went to the Pictures cinema to actually see that film. And I was really worried because I'm thinking, oh my God, is it going to be bad? It's like, because obviously I really loved the originals and just thought this time, but I actually loved it. So that was cool. But if they change it and then they're not the focus of it and they just do, don't think it would work.
But it is tempting for these studios to sort of do this, isn't it? I mean, one of the biggest obvious ones for me would be like a Back to the Future, but with Marty's kid or whatever, you know, something like that. Because he wouldn't be up for playing the whole role, but while he's still with us, bless him.
No, but
there is a potential.
Doc.
What?
You can still bring Christopher Lloyd back as Doc, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could. But I mean, even he looks, you know, a lot older now, sort of thing. So whether he helps him, that's the problem. It's too easy for them to do that.
You could have it where Marty's kid, probably non-binary rainbow chaser or something by now, is going to see Doc as a Godfather type, not like Godfather as in Godfather type, but as in a religious Godfather type.
I can see it in the trailer where he goes, "Do you want to see some serious shit?" or something like that. When this baby hits 88 miles an hour.
Yeah. Do you want to go back to the time when non-binary people existed? Yeah, go on. Let's go.
with an electric car.
Yeah, they go back to 2014. But you know that type of thing. You know, they could get around with that. Like say, Michael J. Fox doesn't need to be in it, does he?
No,
Yeah.
but he doesn't need to be the main cast, the main star in it either. That's the other thing.
No.
You know, and there's always that potential that they could do. And I use that as an example, but that's a very obvious cash cow that's just waiting to be done, isn't it?
Mm.
Do you not just think they just need some new ideas rather than just redoing everything that is already out and trying to...
I think the problem that you've got with that is that a time travel movie is a time travel movie, whichever vehicle or pod or capsule you're in, you're still going to go back. You've got to try and avoid changing the past, and you've got to try and avoid affecting the future. I think it's just easy for them to say, right, let's do a time travel movie, but what we'll do is that we'll slap a big title against it for a franchise that we know is known for time travel. I'm using that as an example, you know.
Yeah.
Dell's put in there, they've done the same with Fast and the Furious. So we've had the Fast and the Furious spin-off movie, haven't you, Hobbs and Shaw?
Yeah.
You know, that could have been any other film that had Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham. It didn't have to be Hobbs and Shaw.
Nothing to do with the fact that him and Diesel didn't get on.
No.
Absolutely nothing to do with that. Queenie said, have we seen Five Nights at Freddy's yet? They got turned away on day one of release as it was a 15 and not a PG, a 13 PG, like they said it would be. That's mental. I mean, that being a 15, that takes away quite a bit of the audience for that franchise, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's sort of meant to be a horror, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, but that sort of content is readily available on YouTube and things like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the games are 15, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean a lot with games nowadays, or does it really? If the parents want to keep the kids quiet and it's not Grand Theft Auto, then I would imagine they'd probably buy it.
So this obviously we've got Luke on the stream now, Luke, and this sort of affects your sort of generation. Because
you mean young
because we're all old farts and you pesky little kids.
We'd got away with it.
Yeah. What would you say with the latest lot of horrors? Obviously, you've got Talk to Me, you've got Cobweb, you've got Five Nights at Freddy's now, and the new Exorcist movie sort of watered down sort of the horror thing. Are you interested in any of the new teen horror type scenarios, or are they, or is there something that you're staying away from? Because they seem to be aimed at the younger audiences now. Don't need to bring them in.
I don't know, because I haven't watched any of them films. The only one I've watched out of them films is just Five Nights at Freddy's and The Exorcist. I haven't watched Cobweb and the other one. I haven't watched that many horrors. I watched The Nun 2 and the other ones, but I haven't watched Cobweb yet. I need to watch that one.
Yeah. Because there was like that Don't Breathe and The Quiet Place and all that, but that was all sort of tailored for the streaming audiences for the younger people, wasn't it? To get them into the horrors and stuff like that. So for me, it's more jump scare, but it's the jump scares that get me anyway. You know, I'd be better with people running around with machetes and cutting people's heads off. I prefer that than flipping cheap scares, cats jumping out of cupboards and then the ghost is standing behind somebody. You know, I'm 5'10", 16 stone, and I scream like a bitch when that happens. And it's just everyone in the cinema knows that sort of. I've jumped out my skin for that. But yeah, isn't PG-13 an American age rating? I think it is, isn't it? That's the
Yeah.
parental guidance, isn't it? I think that
Yeah,
is
because
the
ours used to be 12, wasn't it? 12,
Yeah.
15,
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
12A, wasn't it? It was 12A, 15. I mean, 12s, they came out when I think it was like the Pelican Brief, and there was something else that they were like the first 12s that
Mm.
I remember seeing. I think even The Fugitive might have been a 12.
Yeah. So
Back in the day.
Elaine's put Five Nights at Freddy's breaks 2023 box office records,
Wow.
securing its place in horror movie history.
Really though? I mean, is that what's it like on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that though? Rotten Tomatoes.
Does that make it then the most successful computer game conversion out then?
I don't know. I bet it's up there, but they did because of the price of tickets nowadays. It's going to smash it, innit? It'll smash some of the ones that. Let me have a look.
I don't watch horrors, and even cartoon horrors, I wouldn't watch.
What, like
Scooby Doo.
Not Scooby Doo. I mean, I know it was a bit scary when they kept running past the same bit all the time.
The same animation over and over again.
Yeah, it reminds us of a bit Peter Kay joke when he's at the buffet and it's like, or is it chicken legs, sausage rolls, chicken legs? It's like Scooby Doo.
God, it's got quite a good score on there as well. Yeah, ours is 12, 12A, 15, and 18. Yeah, that's right, Neil. Yeah, the child actors are by far the best bit of the movie in The Exorcist. Really, is that the new one you're talking? You're obviously talking about the new one because she's put the new Exorcist is poo. Yeah, but I just googled what age is NFL movies and they booked the tickets. Yeah. So you'd already booked the tickets as well. God, turning up there and finding out you can't take them in. Yeah, they are 15. Look, here's a moustache. Draw a moustache on them. Neil should have gone cinema habit. We'll get woke. Yeah, we'll get woke Goonies in a few years. Dave says. Yeah, probably.
You can't touch Goonies.
But that is another potential cash cow, isn't it? You know, even if it's one of the children of all, maybe all of the original characters, all their kids are better friends, and they go on an adventure. It writes
Well, that's
itself.
what I said to you, wasn't it? You didn't even need to do that. You could have had like Chunk working in the ice cream parlor, and he accidentally drops a treasure map in front of a bunch of new kids, and off there you go.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
You could have just had that nostalgic sort of crossover for a minute.
Yeah, something like that.
You know, Jumanji, the second one.
Yes.
Yeah.
With like Dwayne and Jack Black and all
Yeah.
them. Do you think that would that have worked had they not used like already, popular actors? Because there's people out there who will watch whatever Jack Black does or whatever Dwayne Johnson does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you think it would have worked otherwise? Or do you think using them is what sold it?
Like the original Jumanji. The original Jumanji still had big stars in for the day, wasn't it? You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, Robin Williams.
I think at the time when you had the Jumanji reboot, Karen Gillan was just on the back of the Marvels. She was just coming out of playing Nebula. You've got Jack Black obviously in there. You've got Kevin Hart in there. You've got The Rock. At the time, The Rock was in every single film out at that particular point.
Yeah.
So I think that was sort of the push that they needed to release that. By the time they got the second film, The Rock wasn't really in much, was he? He was in I think he just come out of doing, was it Skyscraper, where we was playing the
Oh
amputee
yeah.
father. Kevin Hart was sort of on a comedy sort of a hiatus, wasn't he? He wasn't doing he was doing more Netflix specials more than anything
Well, the
else.
second time, yeah.
And Jack Black had fell off the face of the planet at that particular point. So I think the first one was definitely that, Laney. I think, you had the biggest stars from their arenas coming to play characters, and I think the second one was more just how much money can we make for these people that weren't doing anything at the time.
That's true.
Yeah, so Dave said those movies are only Jumanji in name only.
Yeah. But it's because it was the game, isn't it? So I guess you could use it. It's like Batman, obviously having different people play Batman in different storylines.
Yeah.
Allows it to change constantly. And everyone has their own favourite Batman and set of movies, I suppose.
I mean, I think it was literally just before movies started having messages about stuff in there. Mm-hmm. So I think even the second one, it's not a terrible movie. It's an enjoyable movie, but it's not full of messages that we should be, woke messages and stuff.
Hey Jeff, I don't know if we get that many woke messages in TV shows and stuff like that now.
No.
Don't see it as much as we used to. When you used to get like a whole cast on game shows, and you could definitely look at a panel on the game show and see what boxes the BBC have ticked this week.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean there.
But I don't think you're moving away. I think you're moving away from that, and I think studios are learning the fact that you can tell good stories, you could have good casting, you could have good characters without having those social messages and roles put into the show. To me, it doesn't bother me if you were there to those boxes, as long as your character is good enough to hold the water in a TV show.
Cal's got a good point. These movies that are sort of filled with action stars or big names, the chances are if it was an unknown cast, a lot of them would end up being sort of a straight to streaming or straight to DVD.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's better now than it was then, because if it went straight to DVD, it could just end in an abyss of stuff in a store, couldn't it? Whereas now, if it goes to streaming, there is chance of an audience because they're not having to go out and pay for that.
Is that a good thing? I was going to say, is that a good thing or a bad thing? With the likes,
I think it's a good thing.
Like the things like the Grey Man and the Adam Project and Tomorrow's War and stuff like that we've had from Netflix and Amazon and stuff like that. Yeah. It's given the unknowns a sort of place for that. And how often do you look at the cinema releases now on your phone and go, do you know what? It's not worth spending 10 quid to get a ticket for what's actually coming out in cinema.
No. Yeah, totally.
Mm.
So, what are you looking forward to? What's coming out for you, Luke, in the next couple of weeks? What have you got your eye on?
Nothing really. No, what it is now that I don't really. I go to the cinemas and watch films, but then when it comes out to physical, I don't really buy anything. The only last thing I bought on physical and new releases this year was just Guardians 3 and The Flash. That's what I bought this year for new releases. I don't really buy new releases that much. So
you can both answer the question while you're here.
Yeah.
When is it right time to watch Christmas movies? December, good. Lainey?
Whenever you want.
I think you can't. For me, you cannot watch them until at least December. With me, it gives you a 24-hour window.
If we go Die Hard, right?
Yeah.
It's a Christmas film. but you can watch it whenever.
Now
that is one of the only ones, really.
Die
I
Hard.
I saw there was a Home Alone was on. Home Alone 1, I think it was, or 2. That was 1. Was on in May on TV. And I was like, that's not right.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah,
No,
I think it's okay because there's so much of it is just it's not Christmas related exactly.
Home
No, it's
Alone.
set at
Home
Christmas.
Alone. It's a Christmas film.
It
Die
is.
Hard.
It's a Christmas film. Die Hard's a Christmas film. But what I'm saying is, I still think you watch it in May.
But even now,
Already
just
watched
because it's got
Gremlins.
past Halloween and it's got past bonfire night, it doesn't mean that you automatically have to revert to, yep, I've already watched Gremlins. There you go, Queenie. That's my point. You know, I mean, you can't grumble with Gremlins, but yeah.
Let's hope Bargain Bell's still in the chat and still watching, or they've probably sodded off to watch Spirited by now.
They're already sat there in their Christmas pajamas with eggnog,
watching Spirited.
Bell's
Bell's just put the Halloween stuff away and straight onto the Christmas onesies. Now, when does Christmas 24 start on Sky again?
It'll be like the 1st of December, won't it?
Right, so that's when you can start watching Christmas movies, when Sky bombards you 24/7 for the next 8 years.
That's like saying when the radio starts playing Mariah Carey, you can crack on your Christmas tunes.
Yeah,
they did that about a week ago.
Most of the local councils are switching the lights on next Friday, aren't they? On the 17th.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's coming, but to me, Christmas is Christmas Eve to Boxing Day. Boxing night, you pack away your tree and you're all done then for new.
Oh no, you leave it up for New Year.
No,
no, I
party and you've got pretty lights and sparkly bits. You can't leave it up.
Sparkly bits.
Yeah, but I put my tree up. I mean, I didn't bother that. I haven't bothered the last couple of years, but I used to put the tree up on the 1st of December when the kids were young.
So what I'm saying there, though, Kel, is that I know Chris Evans was in and Ryan Gosling were in Grey Man.
Yeah,
I know. Chris Pratt and stuff was in the Tomorrow War, and Ryan Reynolds and Mark Ruffalo were in the Addams Family. But what I'm saying that there's been a lot of the series, a lot of the other background actors, and a lot of that have had chances alongside these A-listers that they wouldn't get if they were getting cinematic releases.
Yeah.
A, that's probably to keep the cost down on the production for the film, and B, they're not paying out loads of wages for a load of A-list actors.
Yeah.
So if the Adam Project was in cinema release, you probably found that you had 5 or 6 big actors in that film, and you probably wouldn't have got or the way that I'm seeing this at the moment is that you're not getting as good as a production with a good effects because all the money's going on the wages. Why are you paying? You know, why you're paying? Who's the one that sued Disney? Scarlett Johansson. Why are you paying 80 million pounds for a 15-minute cameo in something when you could be paying 5 other actors to actually play decent parts?
Yeah.
I mean, there is always he's back again. There is always the potential, if it is on a streaming service, that it can take off. It just needs the right environment. It needs people to see it, that sort of stuff.
It's timing. It's timing as well. If you're releasing a film on Netflix, right? We'll use Netflix. If you're releasing a film on Netflix, don't release it at the same time that Squid Game season 2 comes out, or Alice in Borderland season 3 comes out, or the next big thing, the Witcher, or something like that. Don't launch a film that you want to take off at the same time that you're doing that. Amazon were a bugger for that because they released The Boys the same time they released like Picard or something like that.
Yeah,
And you're
I know
like,
what you mean.
the Power of the Rings, the Lord of the Rings ones. You're like, wow, you've just give me 5 series all in one hit here.
Mm.
You know, and then you're wondering why something doesn't take off. Netflix went through a stage of it. The October faction and the Order in Winx and stuff like that. They give us all in one hit, and it wasn't around Halloween either. You know, all these would have been perfect for like October releases, but they never give us them in October.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
So,
Yeah.
my
Going
TV
back
show
to Christmas.
is December.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, going back to Christmas, do any of you repeatedly watch any Christmas films year after year after year? Like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
What Christmas films do you go to? Like, are you go tos every year? And Steve's just shaking his head like, no, I don't do Christmas. What you on about?
Christmas is full of musical bullshit.
And that's the tagline for next week's episode.
Next week's podcast is called musical bullshit.
I watch 3 films every year without fail, and then I'll sometimes watch others. But It's a Wonderful Life, because it's like what my mum and dad introduced me into. Santa Claus the movie, I think it's 1985 one, because that is like my Christmas film from being a kid. And then Jack Frost, because that was my Christmas film from the kids being kids, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I rewatch them. And then sometimes others as well. Die Hard's always on about 20 times somewhere.
Don't you need to be careful what version of Jack Frost you put on, because there's a nice.
Yeah, not it's like, no, I don't do the scaries.
Yeah, that would have been a nice surprise for him, wouldn't it?
Yeah. All of a sudden, your snowman's walking around with an ice pick.
Yeah.
Baz has put Die Hard. Kel's put Die Hard 1 and 2 with Home Alone. Geek Out with Dave's put Muppets Christmas Carol. That's the one I was thinking of, Stevie. And Queenie's put Die Hard every year. So I think Die Hard's the go-to Christmas movie.
Die Hard 1 and 2 and Home Alone. There you are, Cal. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, ours would be Home Alone 1 and 2 and Christmas Vacation. But then I also am a bit partial to a Trading Places. The
Gremlins.
Santa Claus the movie. I could do a better job with what I've got in here than what they put on TV sometimes. Because you'll still end up with Jason and the Argonauts and stuff being on at Christmas just for the sake of it.
I
Nothing
love
to do with
that.
It. I love it.
Give me Jason and the Argonauts and Sinbad the Eye of the Tiger every year. For
my dad used to watch them.
Yeah.
And every James Bond film that was always on.
Now, the Bonds, I sort of get bored of the Bonds. Because
I can't stand the Bonds. Like,
there's only so many times you can watch Let Die or Moonraker at Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Considering there's so many of them, it's always the same sort of 3 or 4, isn't it?
Handful.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go, Cal saying she loves Jason and the Argonauts. Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah. Those scenes with the skeletons.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, awesome stuff. The other one's the original Clash of the Titans.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'd watch that. I know they're not Christmas movies, but they're the type of movies that you need on around Christmas to break up the musical bullshit. The story about the girl's dead dad. Huh?
What?
What's that?
Oh, Baz's comments here. The story about the girl's dead dad up the chimney dress.
Oh, in Gremlins, yeah. Yeah.
Strange.
I am looking forward to watching that again.
Do you know when you're reading something and you're like, what am I reading there? I remember that. Just watch Violent. Yeah, Violent Night is awesome.
Yeah, Violent Night is good. I enjoyed that film.
The other one that was...
sorry, Steve.
Go on.
I was going to say, I tell you what's terrible though. You know them billions of Christmas films they put out where, like, they hate Christmas and then something magical happens.
It's like a Channel 5 special.
Oh, it drives me insane. Yeah, it's awful.
They're based on my life, they are.
Are they?
But Steve doesn't get that happy ending.
No, he doesn't get that bit. He's still like,
do you know the film? Do you know the films where, you know, they hate Christmas, then they go ice skating and everyone's all happy and they're all holding hands and pass.
Yeah.
I'll be the grumpy bastard in the ice skate rink machine. What are they called? That just runs over the Santa. Bang, gone, done. Move on. Next year, let's go. But yeah,
I was going to say I watched that. Was it Fat Man? The one with Mel Gibson in last year.
yeah.
That was all right. That went too bad. Sorry, there was zero grammar in that message. Great Escape. It's not Great Escape. Xmas movie. What?
No.
It's not an Xmas movie, but it's a movie you watch at Christmas, isn't it? It's like watching Memphis Belle or the Dam Busters or something like that. It's just a film that you put. Blues Brothers isn't a Christmas movie, but you watch Blues Brothers at Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, as well, though, like, why is it? And it's the same with the songs, right? You have all these amazing Christmas songs and all these amazing Christmas films from ages ago, but there's never any new decent ones. Why? Why is that? Like, you never get anything.
Like broke, I fix it. Yeah,
like all the popular Christmas songs are from the 70s and 80s, aren't they? And they would just get replayed every year, but you never get a new.
Covered, replayed or covered and covered.
I don't watch Christmas movies. I don't watch musicals. I don't watch feel-good films.
You don't watch nothing that makes you happy, Steve. Is that what it is?
That's basically what it is. You see, I'm a grumpy get, and that's me. That's me done. See, Kel's there. I agree with Big Steve. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, then back to normal. Done. What's the point?
That is yes. I do agree with you there. Yeah.
What's the point in jogging it out? However, if I was to watch something and you were making me watch something over those 3 days, I'd probably put Band of Brothers on and watch the 10 episodes of Band of Brothers. You know, and yeah, because some of that stuff is absolutely awesome. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to see Steve's 25 Days of Christmas. A Christmas movie each day movie review on the channel.
Really?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. You know, instead of doing like Scare October or whatever it was called, he's going to do Christmas.
I'm doing it just after you do my 25 days of musicals.
25.
I don't want to have a 31 days. It'd kill him, that.
I tell you what, Steve, you're seeing it pop up. Rest in peace, Big Steve. Like November 23.
Lasted 10 days. It couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah. Day 10, The Greatest Showman. You know,
it's great. The Greatest Showman.
No, it's not. It's the greatest waste of time. That's what it's called. It's 3 hours of your life you never get back.
I think I should make number 2 of that.
Didn't want it back.
No. They shouldn't have made number 1. No. And I stick by my actions at the end of my review, what I did to that disc. I stick by that. For the amount of stick I got for that, I was right. It's awful. It's shit.
It's shocking. Absolutely shocking.
And no matter how many times little Steve sneaks a copy of The Greatest Showman into my gift sets or whatever, you know, you always end up on other streams. You know, I wish I was there when he spotted that copy of The Greatest Showman on Chris's Whatnot last night.
I just knew it's not a surprise. I was like, I knew where that was going. But like I said to you, until you accept that there's one that needs to exist in your collection, you will keep finding them.
The greatest showman will never be in my collection.
Okay.
I think we'll get you don't like them.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was, right, with The Greatest Showman? It was the fact that it was in the pictures for so long, then it went out the pictures, then it come back on the pictures, and then we had the soundtrack for about 18 weeks, right? At number one. Oh, so 1 to 10 it was, wasn't it? The soundtrack. So
Yeah.
every time you put the radio on, there was something on it. And then that dropped off. Then you had Pink redo the whole bloody album. So she was 1 to 10 for about 18 weeks.
That was probably the most annoying thing about that, though, is that they literally brought out the album again, but with stars on instead. And it wasn't even like, 2 years later they brought it out. It was within a few months. They just literally went, right, okay, let's do this release as well.
Yeah. And then because the soundtrack was doing so well, they put the bloody film back in the pictures. It's awful. It was an awful film.
You do know that you don't have to go and watch it, though. It can be there.
I had to watch it for homework, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because it was homework on the channel. And
Yeah.
Steve did it on purpose, right? I'm sure he did. Because this came out, it came up on homework the week after I was, or the week I was away, and all of a sudden we had to do The Greatest Showman for homework.
So, obviously, musicals are your worst genre of film, I'm guessing. Yeah. So, what's yours, little Steve?
I don't really have one that's the worst. The only thing I don't like is when you get one of those interpret endings. Them things are what really drive me bonkers, because I've invested, especially nowadays with the longer movies, I've invested 2.5 hours into a movie that at the end goes, could be up to you what happens next. Like, did that just literally? I mean, the ones that I've watched movies where it literally stops dead. Literally, that's the end of it.
Yeah. You've watched 3 hours. It just starts getting good, and then the flipping credits come up, and you're like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on? Just leave it there.
Yeah. Just leave it there for now. Queenie's put, what about Christmas TV specials from the past? Only Fools and Horses, I've got all of them. One Foot in the Grave, I've got all of them. Royal Family, I've got all of them. Yeah, I could rewatch them each year. Yeah, I agree with you. There's especially the Only Fools and Horses ones are always special for me, because
Lana wants to watch The Only Fools. She watches Bean, the Christmas episodes of Bean, and then she watches the Christmas episodes of 2 Pints of Lager and a Pack of the Crisp.
You've got to also chuck in the Blackadder one as well.
Yeah.
Either Blackadder 4 or the Blackadder Scrooge, the one with Scrooge. The movie. Is it the movie? Christmas special, isn't it? But yeah, it's the Only Fools and Horses ones, the ones that really stick in my head, were the ones with the trilogy. The ones where they made it. Because I remember that was so secretive as to what was going on, and how they filmed it and stuff is so clever. But yeah, they're the specials that really stick out for me when it comes to like Only Fools and Horses.
See, I don't mind. I don't mind if they make a live stage show of it, Neil, because I don't go to theatre. Right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't. But I was never interested in stuff like the Back to the Future musical. I was never. The only musical that I've been to see in the theatre, and I loved it in the theatre, was the Phantom of the Opera. I think it must have been the way that they've done it for me, because they actually had the boat on the stage and they were rowing it, and it was
amazing.
Yeah, it was absolutely awesome. But it doesn't about the Lion King and Back to the Future, the Greatest Showman, or anything like that. doesn't bother me. I'm not really interested in the musicals, so you can knock yourself out and go for them as much as I, is all I care. But it's when Taylor Swift putting a flipping concert in the cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be the next thing, won't it?
Yeah.
These musicals will be beamed into the cinema and you'll have to watch it because there's nothing else on. Go and see the Book of Mormons, granted you.
You could read a book instead.
Book of Mormons.
The thing is, though, Steve will send me the screenplay of The Greatest Showman if I said I'd take up reading. So I'll end up reading it, never mind watching it. War the Worlds is a musical. Now, yes. Now, I love War of the Worlds. I love the original movie. I loved the TV series was great. The Tom Cruise film wasn't brilliant. However, Chris did send me the War of the Worlds, the musical at the O2, and it had Marty Pello, it had Jason Donovan, and a few of the others. And I actually really enjoyed it. It did get to the point where I was about an hour in, and Jason Donovan's Marty Pello just kept saying, they said it will never happen, but they came. And that's all he was repeating for about 15 minutes. I was just like, right,
yeah.
So, yeah, I did get to the point where I was getting a bit bored with the O2 musical, but I would love to go and see it with the orchestra, with the big bits and stuff. But that's War of the Worlds, and the bit with the Thunder Child, the steam runner, and stuff like that. It's great visual effects. I'd love to go and see that. I would love to go and see the orchestra do the Jurassic Park stuff and the Star Wars stuff and the big orchestra sort of soundtrack stuff. But musicals, I just can't get my head into musicals. I'd rather poke my eyes out with a screwdriver than sit watching musicals all day. Yeah.
The quiz. Well, assuming you still want the quiz.
Yes.
So is not next week, but the week after, okay? Because I've got an appointment next week, and I don't know if I'll get back in, by the time I get back and sorted and all that. I don't know if I'll have time. So what about the week after that, which is...
Yeah, that's fine.
What's the date then? 23rd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds great.
Cool.
No, I haven't seen Blood Brothers, Neil. I don't know if my disdain for musicals and theatre is coming across clearly enough on the stream.
No.
And I haven't seen it. Lainey, don't even bother putting musical questions in this quiz. I don't want to round the musicals.
I'll be like, in The Greatest Showman, which bit did Steve not like?
Yeah.
That's that one.
Which bit did he find only mildly annoying?
Which bit did he fall asleep at? I'll have to go back. I'll have to go back and watch the review.
Yeah. Fair enough. So I don't think we ever actually got the answer out of you, Luke. What Christmas movies do you like, mate?
Home Alone 1 and 2.
Good lad.
Die Hard.
Yep.
2. And that's it.
He's holding off mentioning these musicals, isn't he? Because he doesn't want to offend me. You can see it in his face.
He's just looking over at his special edition.
I really want to say Spirited and whatever.
I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen Spirited.
It's really enjoyable. Honestly, it's good.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's quite an interesting pairing.
So
I don't know.
Where does right? Okay. Let's put a controversial question out there. Musicals. People enjoy musicals because they can sing along to it and they can immerse themselves into it and be part of the show.
Yeah.
Where do you see a film with a really good soundtrack that you can sit there and see? Top Gun's got a great one. Transformers, the '86 movie's got a great soundtrack. But Blues Brothers got a great soundtrack. They're soundtracks that you can't help sing along to when certain songs come on in the films.
I think you're slightly biased there, Steve.
In which way?
I don't know. It just seems like most of them are your favourite films. Give or take. I'm surprised you didn't say, you know what, Aliens. What a soundtrack.
Over the
Aliens
top.
2. Aliens has got an amazing soundtrack because part of it sounds like Star Trek 2.
Over the Top. Have you seen Over the Top? That's got a great soundtrack.
Over the Top. Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Rocky.
Amazing story in that one.
Yeah. And Footloose, it's quite good. It's got some decent songs on. I like Guardians of the Galaxy stuff because it's the 80s. It's my sort of my thing.
It's cool.
But the thing with Guardian soundtrack, though, mixtape 1, that was awesome. And the fact that it was all 80s, because that was the only tape that he had when he got taken, right?
Yeah.
Bearing in mind in Guardians 2, he had an MP3 player by this point. So,
Upgraded.
Yeah, but the soundtrack wasn't as great.
He couldn't have the CD player, though. He'd have been skipping every 2 minutes he moved.
Yeah. All right, let's go to hyperspace. What's that? Well, the music's not working. We've lost the Wi-Fi. You know,
the 3 second skip on it.
But I didn't think much of the soundtracks to Guardian 2 or 3, to be honest. I think mixtape 1 is probably
that was the best.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
definitely the best. Like,
yeah,
I liked them all, but that was definitely the best.
Yeah. And where do you stand on additional songs being added to soundtracks because it was inspired by the movie?
Oh, yeah. Well, you get that as a second. It's like there was, I remember the Wedding Singer and Romeo and Juliet, actually. Their soundtracks brought out an inspired by soundtrack literally straight after, like within a few weeks.
And that's just trying to profit more, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, 100% it was,
It doesn't work for me.
The only thing with the second Romeo and Juliet one is it had the song from the little kid in the church that's singing. I forget what it's called now. But I think it's the Prince song. When Doves Fly.
Yeah.
That the version of him singing it is on the second album. Other than that, it was a waste of space. The rest of the album.
Yeah.
And that had a good. The Romeo and Juliet movie had a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
I remember the Fight Club soundtrack. Amazing. Yeah.
First rule of Fight Club.
Yeah. You don't talk about the soundtrack.
So I'm looking at the time here. It's 9:20. Now, lucky enough, I'm working from home tomorrow, so
of course he is.
You know, it's Friday. Of course, I work.
Luckily, he's watching musicals from home tomorrow.
No, you know. However, I did bring up the Xbox. See, the Xbox is there, so I can now watch stuff up here as well, me Blu-rays and stuff like that. So yes, it's that time of the night, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to call it.
Thank you.
And next week we have Dave on from Savage Zombie Reviews for our
Dave's twin.
For our first podcast episode, and then in 2 weeks' time, Lainey is going to put us through her paces on a quiz. So I'll have to get a quiz panel sorted for a week, 2 weeks' time. I would say, Luke, you would more than welcome join us for the quiz, but judging with your movie knowledge and stuff like that, you might be out of your depth a little bit because I know
You'll get one less question more than us when we get two
I know
right.
little Steve and I are out of our depth, mate. And we've probably seen a hell of a lot more films than you.
Yeah.
Like
So,
a deer in headlights, wasn't it?
you're more than welcome.
Watching him crumble.
You're more than welcome. Take part, mate. You know you
Thank
can.
you.
So
Thanks.
you can, so we'll get a good quiz panel together. Neil, the major announcement is that we are having a bit of a rebrand. As of next week, we are not just going live. We'll be going forward as a podcast. So we'll be streaming on YouTube, YouTube Music, and Spotify as of next week. So we'll be available on those platforms as well as being live as well. So it's aimed for people to be able to listen to us more instead of being visual. So
I draw the line at TikTok, I'm telling you.
Yeah, pickups of the week will be a regular video on the channel instead of being part of the cast. So that way we can just talk and enjoy having our guests on and interacting with the chat like we've done tonight and last week, and it's worked quite well.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll be streaming over different platforms as of next week. So we've got a little bit of a rebrand going at the moment. So yeah, just bear with us and we'll be there. So good stuff. I'd just like to say thank you to our guests. I'd like to say thank you to Rob. I know he's disappeared earlier on. Luke, always a pleasure, mate. You know you're welcome at any time. Lainey, good to see you back on YouTube after a long break and stuff. So don't be a stranger. You know where we are if you want to come and have a chat.
Thank you.
Little Steve, just pull your finger out and get something done for the channel, will you?
Thanks for filling me in tonight with what was going on, Steve. I've really appreciated it.
Yes. You see, if you turned up before the show, I could have briefed you what we were planning on doing.
I didn't see it in my calendar.